Okay, cool. We are live. Welcome to the GnosisDAO Community Call. Today is June 26, 2024. We do this once a month where we all gather and talk about ecosystem updates, and we have a special guest. This month we have Metri, who will, the team will do a demo. And yeah, to kick things off, a little housekeeping. The agenda today. We'll go over events and talks. Then we'll do a governance update. We also have members from the Karpeki team and Stable Lab to talk about a recent GIP. And then we'll go over Gnosis chain updates, ecosystem updates, and then we'll end it with a demo from Metri. So without further ado, let's get into it here. I'm going to hand it over to Carolina, who I'll bring up to the stage right now to talk about events and talks. So take it away, Carolina.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me again, John. I will keep it short this time, and we will be only talking about the events we are organizing for ETC. And we will kick it off the week with the Severely Summit, with the participation of our most recent unit, the Gnosis AI Labs team. Following up, we will also be having a booth represented by Circles at ETC on the 8th and 9th of July. So please pass by if you want to learn all about the version 2 of Circles that is going to be launched really soon as well. And then on the next day, July 9, we will be also having Stefan George speaking at the Real World Assets Summit. In a panel, so this is going to be exciting. So stay tuned and please register in the event in their webpage if you'd like to learn more. And following that, we will be organizing a half-day event at the Regent Village in Brussels. Our half-day event will take place on July 10. And we will be having 3 different activities, starting with a Circles activity that we will be sharing more on our X pages soon. So just check out our webpage link and you'll get to know more about it. Then we will be also having an AI Labs activities, and we will be closing this event with the shutterized Gnosis chain celebration. And that is going to be followed by a small sandwiches dinner. So pass by if you want to celebrate with us. And to wrap up the week, we'll be also participating at the ETH Global Hackathon, also with Circles being represented. We'll be also having a collaborative bounty with the Gnosis AI Labs. And we will have a booth, so pass by the booth if you want to get to know the team and learn more about Circles. We'll be also having a workshop and some prizes. So stay tuned. And I think that's it from my side, John. Thank you so much.
Cool. Thank you, Carolina. And yeah, obviously ETC is a highlight of the year, so please stop by if you're around. Let's see here. What do we have up next? We have a few updates from the Gnosis DAO. Lots of activity recently up on the forum. So bear with me here. We'll go through quite a few proposals. These 2 are in phase 2, so they have not yet gone to snapshot. So please check them out if you haven't already. GIP 103 is about a Karpeki proposal to incentivize the use of USDC on Gnosis chain. They're allocating or proposing to allocate AKGNO. Let me quickly just run through that proposal with you. So the USDC token on Gnosis chain is currently not compliant with the bridge token standard, which was established by Circles. So this proposal is an attempt to issue USDC natively on Gnosis chain and to get Circles to basically recognize USDC on Gnosis chain. And we're also just taking the opportunity to incentivize people to use it with AKGNO. So take a look at that proposal. It will go to Snapshot quite soon. And the token standard, or the native USDC token on Gnosis chain, will be called USDC-E. Moving on to GOP 105. Should GnosisDAO support version 2 of Gnosis Chain Explorer hosted by Beacon Chain? So if you're familiar with the current Block Explorer by Beacon Chain, this is a proposal to basically fund the second version. Moving on to Snapshot. These two have passed quorum quite recently. GIP 100, should GnosisDAO conduct a $30 million buyback program? Super interesting proposal. This one saw a ton of votes from a lot of wallets. It proposed to allocate 5% of the GnosisDAO assets, primarily safe ETH and stablecoins, to fund a 30 million buyback program. Super exciting. Karpaki is using CowSwap's TWAP mechanism to buy back half of that, and the rest of the proposal is detailed in the Snapshot vote there. So please go check that out if you haven't already. And then GIP 101 passed quorum recently. Should Karpaki and StableLab establish a delegate program for the GnosisDAO? And we're going to talk about that with Karpaki and StableLab in just a second. So I'll let the team members cover that. And right now we have two live proposals up. GIP 102, should GnosisDAO provide financing for the new Gnosis VC Ecosystem Venture Fund? Real quick, that proposal is a proposal about financing the new VC fund to promote further ecosystem growth and product lines in the selected target verticals. I won't go over the entire proposal, obviously, but real quick, it proposes to raise a total of 40 million, wherein the GnosisDAO will invest 20 million, and the remaining 20 million will be raised from external LPs. So pretty substantial proposal. Check it out. And last but not least, GOP 104, should the GnosisDAO enhance awareness and adoption of the shutterized Gnosis chain by providing a grant for marketing activities? The shutterized Gnosis chain is going live later in July, and this is a proposal to support marketing activities to bring a greater awareness to the shutterized Gnosis chain. And that is it from the DAO side. I'm going to hand it over to Coltron and Kene, who are on the call, to talk about the delegate program that was recently initiated with their GIP. So let me bring them up to stage here. Take it away, guys.
Thanks, John. Do you have me on audio here?
Yep. Yeah, we can hear you.
Awesome.
Loud and clear.
Great. Awesome. Thanks, John. Yeah, so I'm Coltron.eth, governance lead at Karpaki. I'm here with Kenna from StableLab. We want to just do a brief highlight on the delegate program that kind of came out of GIP 101 that recently passed. This is a program that both Karpaki and StableLab is facilitating. This program will delegate 5 GNO to 10 delegates from the GnosisDAO Treasury to the winning nominations of this program. Karpaki's role here, as having a treasury role in the GNO coming out of the treasury, will be to set up the safes and to make sure that this executes safely. And StableLab's role here is to facilitate, the delegate involvement to manage the ongoing program once the safes are set up and the delegates have been selected. The goal of this program, very broadly and very simply, is just a pilot to explore how we could increase governance activity and involvement around voting and communication in the GnosisDAO for 6 months. I'll pass the mic to Kenna here to provide some details on the program.
Hey everyone, my name is Kenechiko. So I'm a governance specialist at Stable Lab. Basically working on the GnosisDAO delegate program. So from our perspective, this is such an important thing, considering Gnosis has struggled with quorum and getting proposals to pass efficiently. So like helping to decentralize governance power and ultimately decentralize decision making while empowering delegates who are invested in the future of Gnosis and the long-term sustainability of everything the Gnosis ecosystem is building is really important to us, which is why we thought it was important to start this delegate program in the first place. So the delegate program seeks to, gather individuals who are experienced, in governance operations across the ecosystem, or who, even though they may not be as experienced, native to the GnosisDAO ecosystem, and are willing to get involved in the day-to-day governance of GnosisDAO. This program basically calls on everyone who is invested in Gnosis, either as a governance participant or as a community member, to come together to take part in the day-to-day decision-making of the protocol. So how exactly do you do this? So there are a lot of approaches, but like the main one would be going to the forum. If you go right to the forum, you would see that there is a post called Getting Started, posting a delegate platform. It serves as a kind of guide for anyone who is looking to get involved. So you use that post to develop an introduction, a delegate motivation statement, which includes a lot of information about how you approach the delegate program. And then you post that delegate motivation statement on the forum and then attach a link to that in the delegate nomination thread, which you already have attached. Deadline is already there. So I would suggest anyone who is really interested should get started on working on that. We are hoping for by next week, we would be able to host a workshop to get anyone who is interested in participating in the delegate program involved, so that anyone who is really invested in this would be able to participate without any barriers, such as being able to write the proposal. So the idea is that we would provide guidance for anyone interested. And the deadline is on the 10th of July, midnight UTC. So before then, make sure anyone who is interested to please reach out to me or Coltron. We'll be glad to help you. And anyone who is interested as well, who may not have a sponsor, we will be able to find you a sponsor, or you may find a sponsor yourself. A sponsor is someone who has a forum account or a Discord account older than 6 months. All the information needed is on the forum, or you can feel free to reach out to me for any clarifying questions. And next week, we'll be having a workshop to walk through any existing questions anyone might have. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah. And if you're in our Discord community, you can also ping us and we can put you in touch with either Coltron or Kene. So yeah, anything else to add, guys?
Nothing. Just keep an eye on the forum if you're kind of have questions on this process and kind of want to touch base with both Kenna and I. Again, there will be a workshop next week. We're targeting Monday. There will be an announcement on a edit to the application thread. And again, July 10th is the deadline for this.
Cool. Sounds great. It's super exciting. And yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting all the delegates and getting this going. So thanks a lot, guys. We are going to move on. I'm going to just take you off the stage here. And we're going to bump it over to Igor, who I believe is on the call, to talk about some updates about Gnosis chains. So take it away, Igor. You're good to go.
Yeah, thank you, John, and hello, everyone. Nice to be here. So let's start from the client updates. Nethermind client currently fixed most of issues that they had with the Shutter implementation. They are currently working on checking everything and preparing Nethermind client for the Shutter release. Since Nethermind client will be the first client that supports Shutter protocol, as well as they are preparing for the Vector hard fork currently. Same for the Aragon, nothing like specifically new. They are preparing for the Vectra and also working on Aragon version 3, which will be even more efficient than current Aragon. On the Geth side of things, it's known that recently Geth client started to support Gnosis chain, and currently work goes on to make Chiada support. And there are some progress recently was done on that side. And also there are like early stage efforts to bring ref client, which is Rust-based execution client on efficiency side of things, I would say, to make it support Gnosis chain as well. But it's on early stage so far. Hopefully, we are also working on improving our like testing environment. We are currently working on forking Ethereum/tests and using like a retest if tool to add like additional layer of testing, as well as improving Hive tests and adding new arrived clients to the Hive suits. As a result, once it will be done, it will allow us to have like more well-defined testing pipeline, and it will make life of client developers easier, as well as it will be safer peak for validators to try new execution client, and it should like make it easier to promote client diversity, which is matters very much. There are also small news regarding the Shutter. So yesterday, Shutter team deployed smart contracts on the mainnet, as well as they created testing keeper set for the mainnet. And so far they had, for I guess month, they had testing version of Shutter protocol running on the testnet very smoothly. So everything should be ready for the release. Oh yeah, and last but not least, we're currently researching one EIP on Pectra side. Since there are no dates stated for Pectra so far, as well as it's not yet confirmed what EIPs will be included in Pectra, but probably one, which is EIP 7002, require our additional attention. So we are currently doing research to decide if we should change something on Gnosis side, or we should just go as a firm will go with this EIP. And I guess that's all from my side. Thank you. Back to you, John.
Hey, thank you, Igor. And heads up, so July 11th is when the shutterized Gnosis chain will go live. If you're a node runner on Gnosis chain, please look out for communications about how to participate in that, how to prepare. And if you don't know what the shutterized Gnosis chain is, it just from a very high level, it provides protection to users against malicious MEV. And if you'd like to learn more, you can check out the Gnosis Chain Weekly Recap, where we've gone over the shutterized Gnosis Chain in greater detail. So thank you, Igor. I'm going to take you off the stage here, and we're going to move over to ecosystem updates. And we're going to talk about Gnosis Pay for a second, and I'm going to bring Matthias up to the stage here.
Perfect. Can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Amazing. Thank you so much, John, for having me. If you can pass through the next one. So the first thing that I want to share with you is some of the numbers that we can see. We have reached recently, last week, the mark of 3 million in process volumes, and it's growing as we go. So you can see in the graphs below, each week we are increasing the volumes that we are processing weekly, in going in a good direction. The last month has been a good one for us. So we have added 1,200 almost cards, and then the trend is to start to pick up even more as we go. So we have been fixing a lot of different things before like we can start to really scale. I will talk about some of those things on the next slide. So just to give you like a brief overview of like what happened like in the last month, that a lot of things happened. So we signed a new partnership with Visa, which like now that gives us a direct relationship with them and give us some key strategy like incentives and things that we can do like to actually like enhance even more like what we're doing. We have worked a lot on the onboarding process, which for us is still like one of the biggest pain points that we have, and it's one of the things that we are also like improving like for the next one. We have deployed a new website. I don't know if you guys have checked it. Like we have a better proposition now, explaining what we do and so on. We did a lot of campaigns in the last month. You probably saw a few of them with different players, like we did with like Zerion, with Li-Fi, ENS, and so on. They were cool. At the same time, like we started a referral program. If you haven't like seen it yet, like you probably received an email if you're a user of Gnosis page to refer like other people. We're gonna do the next iteration of this, which is gonna be better because the last one was just a test and we did like just with email. Now like you're gonna have a code, we're gonna have like better benefits for people that refer people to the Gnosis card and so on. So keep like looking for it. We also like have completed the integration with Metri and Zio. I believe Metri is going to show a little bit more about this on the end, but it's the best like experience like for you to use your Gnosis Pay card. If like you want to have a mobile experience, take a look at it. We have solved a lot of issues related to GBPE, which had like some problems for people to convert. And we also did for the first time like an NPS survey, and we saw that like we are actually like in a good like standard with like 6.2. Still long way to go in terms of like what we want to do, but it's a start. In terms of what is coming next, one of the things that we're most excited is that like in August we're gonna be launching 10 new countries. The list is over there. And the cool thing about this is that we are also going to be enabling people to do their transactions with USDC, and it's going to be cool. So spread the news around. In August, like you're going to be able to have cards if you're in one of those countries as well. One of the other things that like is very cool that we're excited that's coming is that like you're finally going to be able to have IBANs directly linked to your card. So you're going to be able to send fiat directly to the IBAN that like will magically appear on your card, and you're going to be able to expand using Monerian. So this is going to be like for EUR-E. We are also going to do next week at NTCC some special edition cards. This is the first time we're talking about this, so you heard first over here. Probably going to be going live tomorrow or after tomorrow. A special collaboration with them. As I said before, we're also doing like the new referral program, which like will have like better benefits and also like easier way for people to see on their Gnosis Pay dashboard like how to refer. And lastly, we also like doing like a new authentication form for onboarding. So you're going to be able to order your Gnosis card without the need of connecting your wallet in the first step, which like we have been seeing it's a big like pain point for people, especially when they're doing their mobile. And then we could do this for the long. One other thing that I didn't put over there, but that I would like to mention, is that like we are working on Apple Pay and Google Pay. We started the process. It's a long process, but it's going to come. And I know it's one of the things that people have been asking the most about. If anything, please do reach out afterwards. But I think that gives like a overview of like what has happened in the last month and what we are cooking.
Nice. Thank you, Mateus. And yeah, please follow Gnosis Pay on Twitter. And if you have any questions, you can jump into the Gnosis Chain Discord, and we're happy to help you there and connect you with the team. Lots of exciting updates from the Gnosis Pay team. So thank you, Matthias. We're going to move it over here to, I believe, the Safe team. And I'm going to bring Ani up to the stage. Ani, you are live. Go for it.
Everyone, I hope you can hear me. Yeah, few really good updates post SafeCon. Some highlights that happened at SafeCon last month. We had about 800 attendees there. Beyond that, we launched the points activation for SafePass, which Gnosis Pay is also a partner of, and so points have now started dropping to people. Besides that, we have launched or are going to just launch with an audit complete 7579 module adapter for Safe, which will launch 14 plus modules that Rhinestone has developed along this standard to be compatible with Safe smart accounts, which is quite exciting. Besides that, we will have passkey support in the SDK, and yeah, passkeys will be compatible with Safe smart accounts. This means Face ID and biometric logins should be easy to build as auth methods for the Safe smart account, and this will be used in prod by WorldCoin. And also, these signatures will be compatible with the 7212 standard that is going to be included in the next Pectra hard fork. So yeah, quite exciting development around passkeys coming up. Besides that, a recovery module, our recovery modules, the Safe Core recovery module will be deployed by WorldCoin and is also being developed and audited right now. And then lastly, Wallet Connect's new SDK was launched at SafeCon as well, which basically makes Safe smart accounts default in their new app kit in their SDK. So that's quite a big distribution unlock for us. Big news on Safe Wallet. We obviously launched successfully native swaps on Safe Wallet, which uses CowSwap and has already seen like impressive volume on mainnet and went live on Arbitrum recently. And then very quickly coming to the last kind of upcoming update is that at ETHCC, we aim to launch the Safe Core gas station. This is a gas sponsorship program we're launching in partnership with Pimlico to basically sponsor, let apps apply to get gas sponsorship for their users. We want to make this a multi-chain gas sponsorship program. Gnosis chain is obviously, we've asked for partnership there, and yeah, exciting developments there in the works. That's pretty much it from me.
Cool. Thank you, Ani. Always great to hear from you, and always great to hear about exciting updates from the Safe team. So thank you so much.
Okay.
Moving along here, we have a special presentation about Metri, and I'm going to bring Daniel Hinders up to the stage here, who is the project lead. Metri leverages account abstraction and advanced cryptography to create a Web 2-like user experience without compromising on security. Was recently launched at DAppCon this year by Gnosis. And yeah, Daniel's going to walk us through all the amazing features of Metri and invite you to use the beta version. So without further ado, I'll hand it over to Daniel. Thanks, Daniel, for making it.
Thanks, John. Yeah, thanks for those kind words. And yeah, it's definitely time to introduce Metri to this audience. So very happy to be here. We want to start to talk about the overall mission and like why we're here, why we're building Metri. And if you boil it down, it is to give users the financial freedom in an accessible way for self-custody, because it is something that a lot of people want to use and want to have those benefits, but today and in the past it's been a bit too complicated for most users to actually set up and have a self-custody wallet. So what we're trying to do is to give users self-custody and all the financial freedom that enables, but in an experience that is more like a neobank rather than what most self-custody wallets look like today. And in Metri, we want users to be able to do all the things that you expect from a typical wallet and what you can also do in a neobank. So kind of matching those sets of functionality. So send, receive, manage your wallet or your account, and also grow and invest digital assets. And throughout the app, the whole experience should be very much like something you would do in Revolut or N26 or any of those companies. So we're really trying to make the user experience as simple as possible, make it into something that non-crypto native people would be comfortable with using. And we're doing all of this based and built on top of the Gnosis ecosystem. So already leveraging a lot of the great products that are out there, like the colleagues and the partners talking before me, like Safe and Gnosis Pay and all that. So it's a really interesting and exciting mission to be on, to make self-custody accessible to everyone. So that's the overall mission we're trying to do. So then how are we doing this? A little bit more on the technical side for you, those of you that are a bit technical, maybe are familiar with the Progressive Web App, because Metri is built using Progressive Web App technology. So it isn't a native app like one you download from App Store or from Google Play Store. It's actually more of a similar to a website that is wrapped in this wrapper, but it very much feels to a user like a native app. You have it stored on your home screen, and when you launch the app, it's full screen, and you have all the typical features and functionality that most people would associate with a native app rather than a website. So it's something that has been used by some other crypto projects. For example, Friendtech is probably the most known one, but it is something that is growing and picking up speed. So I think, or we think that the progressive web apps will become more and more popular in the future. And also for anyone that's interested, like the front end framework we're using is SvelteKit that the developers are very happy to use. So that's a little bit about the tech stack we're using in Metri. So next slide, please. Thank you. And the reason for doing this right now, I would say, is that in Gnosis, there was identified that there are a lot of interesting developments happening, and that has been happening for the last couple of months, that there are a lot of pieces falling into places, with account abstraction being like the main one that actually starts to make it possible to build user-friendly products and applications that are more user-friendly than what the typical crypto experience has been so far. And you can really start building experiences that are Web 2-like rather than the typical Web 3 experience. And we could introduce applications to non-crypto natives that are necessarily not even aware of everything that's happening underneath the hood, and making it into experience that they actually feel comfortable with. So just some things to highlight here is that there's no fees in Metri. We're sponsoring one fees. So one thing that is enabled by account abstraction and, for example, batching transactions as well, not signing more transactions than necessarily needed. So all of this brought together made this the time for why we think it's right to introduce this type of wallet right now, where you can actually give a Web 2-like experience without compromising on self-custody, which is something that hasn't really been done in this way in the industry. So that's it's a very interesting time to build this, and really cutting edge and trying to use the new technology and what it enables. So very exciting to be working on this. And yes, thanks. Because passkeys, I wanted to talk a little bit about that, and we heard some interesting stuff from Safeys before on passkeys. So when you use Metri and onboard to Metri, we deploy a safe account with one owner. And that owner is actually a passkey, and the passkey is created on your device and stored in your secret enclave on your device. So it's a very smooth onboarding process. There's no seed phrase needed, for example. And passkeys might still be a little bit new to most people. It's not that widely used. There's a lot of things happening underneath the surface. But we do see a lot of movements with passkeys, like not only from like Web3, but also Web 2 and the big tech companies. They're investing a lot in passkeys. So I'm pretty sure that passkeys will become a lot more common in the near future. And passkeys is long-term probably going to replace normal passwords because of all the securities improvements that are actually when you replace passwords with passkeys. And it's not only for the crypto use cases, but for us, passkeys are very useful when onboarding users. There's no seed phrases, and when signing transactions, we can do that from the device with a Face ID or fingerprints, some kind of bio authentication or a passcode that allows you to access the passkey and sign transactions. So fully self-custody using the passkeys. And this is enabled in Metri via our partner, Comet. So they have built this SDK, Comet Connect, that we're using for all the passkey functionality in Metri. So very happy to be working with Comet. Next. Thanks, John. Yes, and another thing that we're really think is important for Metri is the recovery mechanism, because it doesn't really matter how many backups we have on like plan Bs, like users, they will eventually lose access to their device and something might not be backed up, etc. So recovery is something that we're spending a lot of time on. And just to start off, like a passkey has already pretty good recovery mechanisms, at least if you as a user store it in a passkey manager that is backed up, because it can be synchronized to the cloud. For example, Apple Keychain, if you have that backed up in cloud, you will be able to access the passkey from any of your Apple devices. And the same is true for Google Password Manager. So already by using passkeys, the setup for the user will be quite resilient. But on top of this, we're also leveraging Safe and the recovery mechanism that Safe has. So a user will be able to add any address, externally owned account as a recoverer for their Metri wallet. So if they were to lose their access to their wallet, they will be able to recover using the recovery mechanisms enabled by Safe Recovery Hub. So we're really trying to make it as safe as possible for users and minimize the risk of people losing access to their wallet. And in the future, we will do other types of recovery as well, and also leverage the Circles social graph. Circles I'll mention a little bit more in a second, but there are other ways of doing recoveries that we're looking into as well. But social recovery is definitely something we see as being very, very core to Metri to make users comfortable with using the wallet. Thanks. And yes, Circles is also a Gnosis product that's been talked for quite some time, and it was launched originally over 2 years ago. But it will be a lot of interesting progress and events happening around Circles very, very soon. For example, at the CC, as Carolina mentioned. And the great thing with Metri and Circles is that Circles is very core to Metri. It's built in as a really a core foundation in Metri. So you will be able to onboard to Circles with your Metri wallet very easily. And if you already have a Circles Garden wallet, then you can actually import that to your Metri wallet and use your Circles profile from Metri. And you'll have your contacts in there, and all the trusts and everything will be the same. When you're in Metri, you can manage your trust graphs or trust and untrust people, and you can send Circles to anyone in your social trust graph. And in Metri, you can also mint Circles. So all the Circles that you can claim, you can claim them through Metri. And there will be a lot of new functionality added to Metri around Circles with the introduction of Circles v2 that will be launched later this year. So Circles will be very core to Metri going forward. And next slide, please. Thank you. And yes, Gnosis Pay, as already mentioned before, that we're integrating to Gnosis Pay. And this is, I think, a very, very good feature for a lot of Gnosis Pay users, because there has been a lot of users requesting some kind of mobile app, and this is a light version of that Gnosis Pay app, I would say, because in Metri, you can add your Gnosis Pay account into the Metri wallet. And you do this by adding the address of the safe account, and this gives you a way to track your Gnosis Pay account natively in Metri. So you can see your balance, you can see all the transactions, and because we read on-chain data. Right now, there's no API integration to properly fetch payment data and merchant name, but that will be added on in Metri very soon, and you'll be able to even start the onboarding flow for Gnosis Pay from Metri. But now already it's a great dashboard for anyone that has a Gnosis Pay card. You can see everything in real time, and you can receive push notification for card transactions, and you can top up very seamlessly from your Metri account to your Gnosis Pay account. So already it's a great use case for anyone with a Gnosis Pay card. And next slide. Yes, wanted to mention as well what's coming up, and the first one there, genome domains, that's actually already implemented. So now you can see genome domains throughout Metri, and you can send to genome domains, add contacts, etc. Registration is not there yet, but that will be added on as well. But already supporting genome domains in Metri, and kind of abstracting away the address to make it even easier for people to use and give them a user experience that is easier especially for non-crypto native people. And in addition to this, also adding swaps with the CalSwap protocol, so that users can move back and forth between tokens, and they can top up to Gnosis Pay even easier. There, as I mentioned, there will be an improved Gnosis Pay integration with full API authentication, and also possibility of having the Metri wallet as an owner of the Gnosis Pay account. And we're also been looking at interest yielding solutions so that Metri can be used as an even better like savings product or accessing savings product within Metri. Next slide, please. Great, yes, and would like to invite all of you to try the beta version of Metri. You should preferably use it on a mobile device. That's really how it's built to be used. And you should make sure to install it as a progressive web app. You'll access it just through your browser and you'll be able to see everything there. But it's actually as a installed progressive web app as you get the full experience, and you can really see how good the UX actually is. So on this link, and then you install it as a web app. Depends a little bit on how you do it, depending on if it's iOS or Android. But you typically click share and then click add to home screen. And that means that the progressive web app will be installed on your device. So this is the link to the beta version. So please go there and try it out. And any feedback is very, very much welcomed. We have a Discord channel, Metri Discord channel in the Gnosis Discord. So any feedback you have, please share with us there, and we'll be very happy to see some more usage of Metri. So yeah, thanks very much. Thanks, John.
Cool. Thank you, Daniel. And yeah, the Metri app is, I don't know if you can see it on my screen. Probably not with my virtual background, but yeah, super nice to use, very sexy. And please check it out if you haven't already. Daniel, you're going to be at ECC, right?
I personally won't be there, but there will be some other people there.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so please look out for the Metri team at ECC. Any other upcoming events or things you'd like to let us know about?
Yeah, there will be definitely some news coming out, and please follow us on Twitter or X as well, where we will announce even more. And we're looking at mainnet in September as well. So yeah, we will probably start to talk more about Metri in the second half of the year. So yeah, a lot of things going on there.
Awesome. And we'll be sharing updates in the Gnosis Chain Weekly Recap, so look out there. All right. Thank you, Daniel. And thank you, everyone, for making the time. We'll meet actually in a few weeks, July 11th, for the next GnosisDAO Community Call, and we will have the Shutter team join us, and we'll talk about the launch of the Shutterized Gnosis Chain. So stay tuned for that. And please come say hello in our Discord, our Telegram, or follow us on Twitter at Gnosis Chain. And you can always join the forum if you'd like to participate in governance. Check out our docs if you'd like to deploy on Gnosis Chain. And if you'd like to become a validator, you can also check out our docs. It's super easy. All you need is one GNO. We currently have a nice campaign going with DAppNode, where if you buy a Gnosis Chain DAppNode, you get 3 GNO. So basically it pays for itself. So please check that out. Really good deal. And yeah, we will see you on July 11th. Thanks everyone for making the time. Take care. See you later. See you on chain.